Spotify. Matt Green, ESPN FPI projections are out. Football Power Index, it's a good one. NFL, college, it's always gets the people going.
You're a big FPI guy.
I'm a big S&P Plus is probably my favorite. Bill Connolly's S&P Plus is my go-to, but I do like FPI as well.
A lot of acronyms. I can't keep up.
There are a lot of acronyms. Baseball analytics infested every other sport, so now there's just all kinds of acronyms to remember.
And I'm a big baseball guy, and I can't even really keep up. Like BABIP. Like I can get with some BABIP, but
batting
like
average balls in play. Yeah.
Yeah, but they.
What about FIP, Matt Green?
FIP. I don't feel that's fielding independent pitching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then all the plus stats. They get ERA plus and all these. Like I think they're good ways probably to measure guys historically amongst each other, but I don't know. It's hard to keep up with all of it.
Speaking of hard to keep up with, who's where in the ESPN FPI standings? Which programs are trending up? What do the numbers say? Because I was listening to the Athlon Sports podcast this afternoon on a walk, and they were doing their playoff contenders and that, and they were talking about getting the Athlon Sports magazine out this summer, putting the final touches on it. And I hadn't even considered how tough that job is, especially now with the portal window and getting
it's
stuff.
Impossible now.
It's going to be out of date in some way no matter what, because people keep popping in and out.
I'm not sure what it's like. They're like the people, there'd be the lobbyists that are pushing for like these transfer portal windows. Wait, they need to do something about this. Our magazine is out of date now. They got to find some sort of sweet spot. I don't know. This portal window that just opened, we probably should know this, but do you know when it closes? Because it's April 15th or something. I think it's
15th to 30th.
And then
it's a 15-day window. It's only 15
anyone
days.
that transfers after May 1st is not eligible to play in 2023.
Correct.
Okay. So I guess they at least have that deadline to where they can scramble after May 1st.
But it is just like you think you have a good idea. So when you're doing these previews and stuff like that and you're just thinking, you're like, I think I have a good handle. And then two guys enter the portal and you're like, okay. And you also don't know if they're going to leave because a lot of these guys have put their name in the portal and then they might not go back because you go in the portal to see what your NIL value is and that kind of thing. So
you get your positional rankings and all this, and then a huge transfer. Yeah, I'm sure there's so many lists and All-American teams and rosters. Yeah, I don't know how these people, I don't know how they keep up.
But also buy it because I love the Athlon Sports preview magazine for college football each and every year. It's one of my favorites. So I'm excited that they're still doing that because I still like the hard copies. I like
can't throw them out either, man. I got one with like Champ Bailey on the cover. That's just like. You see, like, the recruiting classes from back then. It's, like, it's nostalgic. Like, I was flipping through one, and, like, Carl Crawford is, like, top 5 player in the country. Because I don't know if you remember for the Rays. He was, like, he had, like, a scholarship to UCLA or something to play basketball. And Nebraska was recruiting to play football. And he plays, like, a decade plus in Major League Baseball. Just a ridiculous athlete. But, yeah, always going down memory lane. Just so many just big-time recruits from back in the day.
Well, Matt Green, to bring it all back home, ESPN Football Power Index came out this week, and I was surprised by a pretty good percentage here because the projections, they go through not just what your FPI is. It includes, like, percentage of at least winning 6 games. It has a projected win-loss. It has a projected win conference, a playoff percentage. It's all very interesting to me because I think there are some stuff where I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. But I think you and I might be on the same page with some of these. And for me, like, let me go through the top 10 here. And then we can dive into this. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, Georgia. Number 4, LSU. So 3 of the 4 top teams in the SEC. Number 5, Texas. Number 6,
we'll
Michigan.
Be joining the SEC.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Number 7, USC. Number 8, Clemson. Number 9, Notre Dame. Number 10, Penn State. And just to throw these two in here because one of them does include Tennessee. Number 11, Oklahoma. And number 12, Tennessee Volunteers.
Oh, I knew you had to do it. I knew you had to go top 12.
Yeah,
I could see it coming.
I mean, the people were wondering about everything School HQ and where they fell
of course
in this list. But what jumps out to you just from what the numbers and what the computers are expecting coming into the 2023 football season? Matt Green here.
I'd say it was a little surprising to see, like, it's not shocking to see Ohio State number 1, but it's a little surprising to see them kind of with a little bit of a gap. Like there's a 1 point difference, not even a whole point difference between Alabama to Georgia, and then like a 3 point difference to Ohio State. So, and then how much better they have Ohio State being than Michigan is, from what we've seen the last 2 years, it's like that's kind of surprising because I don't feel like, other than Ohio State just being Ohio State and like by default being a preseason top 5 team, it feels like there's a little more uncertainty coming into this year. I mean, I guess with the quarterback position at Ohio State, why would you think this guy would do anything other than throw 35 touchdowns and 5 interceptions and they score 45 points a game? Because that's basically what they do with every single quarterback they have. So other than just making assumptions, I think Ohio State doesn't seem like necessarily just the number 1 team, especially with what Georgia has coming back. I was kind of expecting Georgia to be number 1, but honestly, the most surprising you didn't even get to was Florida being like, what are they, 18?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how this is calculated exactly, but I would bet a lot of money that Florida's not a top 18 team in the country next year.
What is their win-loss projection for Florida? What is it spitting out for? Even because like the thing is to look at the FPI
6.8 and 5.2.
That's
like
what you got to look
you're
at.
Projecting a 7-5 team
or a 6-6. Like that's kind of what we were saying.
I'll round it though.
Yeah, you rounded. That's how you. I mean, that's part of it. But I think that's interesting because I think 6-6, 7-5 feels right for Florida.
Is their schedule that difficult that there could be 7-5 and you could argue that they're the 18th best team in the country? Like obviously they're going to play Georgia, but
I guess
LSU,
it's probably talent. It's just
Georgia and LSU could both potentially be in the SEC championship again next year.
Well, speaking of that, LSU only has percentage of winning their division, so you can sort through all these different things. And I was looking at their odds of winning their division. Tennessee actually has a better chance of winning their division per the projections in the East than LSU does in the West, which I thought. Or no, never mind. 20% for LSU. I missed them. Okay, so 20% for LSU, but Bama at 74%. The numbers like Bama more than LSU here across the board. So Bama has a high playoff odd. They're number 2 here. I think that's kind of weird, Matt Green, because you and I have our doubts. Like Tommy Rees hire, I think that was kind of uninspired. Kevin Steele, kind of uninspired. Like he probably should be an upgrade over Pete Golding, but like really how much are we looking at here? It's not like the talent like is going to be all that different. I just look at it. They haven't been able to figure out who's going to be the starter. Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe are going to go into fall camp battling this out. I don't know.
You got these Tyler Van Dyke rumors circling. Who knows? Alabama, they looking in the portal?
Isn't that weird though? Like, I don't know what LSU has to do to be considered. Like, they won the division last year. They brought a lot back. Jaden Daniels is back. That's something else to mention. Like, the top 3 teams here all are replacing their quarterback. All of them. Georgia, Bama, and Ohio State will all have new signal callers under center going into next year. So I think that's kind of bold to just expect all 3 are the best teams in the country, all 3 going in with uncertainty at the most important position in the sport.
I think it's because the quarterback, while it is important, it's not the most important. In the NFL, the quarterback is everything because everyone has NFL rosters. But with college, it's like these teams at the top can just be so deep at so many positions that you can almost plug a guy in and he has just like a minimum. He just has a floor of how good he's going to be just because of the offensive line he's got and the running backs and the receivers that are on his team and how good the defense is and the position they're putting him in. So, I mean,